As we come to you from the StubHub Center in Carson, California. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Atlanta Falcons and the Los Angeles Chargers. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First and 10, it's Ryan. Drops it off for Coleman. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Left.
On 2nd down, Ryan. Going for the deep ball. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Adrian Phillips. And he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line.
I know some teams are leery about playing cover 2 because the strong safety's not usually a terrific cover guy. But in this case, he played it perfectly. Read the football and went and made the interception.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at the 45. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And Hill running right through it. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here we go. That 180, 380.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
For the Falcons, Charles, we talked all year about the injuries that they had in 2018, and you kind of touched on it earlier, too. It's hard to get around them, though, when you look back at this past year. So they go to 7-9, and I know that that's not what they wanted, but with all the injuries, is that okay?
It would be if you didn't think you were going to the Super Bowl. You know, if you didn't think you had a chance at that, and they did going into the season. But when you lose your starting safeties in Ricardo Allen and Keanu Neal, your middle linebacker, Deion Jones, for a long stretch of time, you end up starting 1-4. Then in the second half of the season, you have a 5-game losing streak. 7-9 is actually better than I thought that they were finishing because of those 2 long losing streaks.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. This is caught inside the 15. And they move this all the way down to the 9. And give them a gain of 37.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by the linebacker, Jatavis Brown. And a short return to the 6-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Delta! Fight!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Getting the sense Charles are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10.
Delta! Delta!
Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
12. Set. Read 80.
Back now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out.
Set. Hey, go orange 5-4. Ready. Delta! Stay there. Stay there.
Now a handoff. This is Gordon. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now the handoff comes to Gordon. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Cluster.
They run it here with Gordon. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Set, read 80. Check. Load it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Early down stuffs to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Ready. Delta!
From the shotgun, it's Rivers going underneath for Gordon. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. The Chargers will bring out the field goal unit now. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. Two minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We'll come back to Southern California after this. And his kick is good. And the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions. And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern a little bit. Whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. You're putting the game in jeopardy. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone. I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground.
Left.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brandon Mebane forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the shotgun, Ryan. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls, and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. This is taken around the 12. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Chargers in good field position to start out. 1st and 10. Rivers now from the 50. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Now a 2nd down throw for Rivers. And open left side, it's Williams. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Set, Zachary 90. Buffalo wall.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Ryan Poole that time there to get a hand on it. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Hey, Delta!
A 2nd down throw for Rivers. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So it's 3rd and long for the Chargers and Rivers after the sack.
Set! 390!
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They'll start the third quarter on the ground with Gordon. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
They go play action here on first down. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Bruce Irvin in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. From the gun, Rivers. This is Gordon on the dump off. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
The Chargers on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6.
Ready. Delta! Buffalo wall.
From the gun, Rivers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here is the punter Jones as he gets this one away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
They'll toss it to Coleman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Let's go. Hey, Tuesday. Let him go.
Here's Coleman on the toss. A good move on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though.
39.
Coleman. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
22.
Here's Coleman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
22.
Now they'll run it on the toss. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
That's a lot of beef thundering downfield off of the toss play, and it takes me back to when I was a kid and watching USC play. Remember the old toss that they ran? They used to call it student body right or student body left because everyone was out in front of the ball carrier. In fact, one of their favorite plays, it was called roast stem right or roast stem left, depending on the formation. 28 toss. And 28 toss was their bread and butter.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tevin Coleman taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Falcons are in for 6. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Here's Bosher to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Second down, Rivers. Sets up the screen to Gordon. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10. I would expect to see some pressure here. The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Bruce Irvin in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Here's Donnie Jones now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. And that's what friends are for. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later. Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You turn it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35. Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. My music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bathema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace. I am speechless. I'm without speech. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along? Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it? I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate. Go! Now they'll run it on the toss. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels? Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. This is Coleman, and he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
21.
On third down, that's Coleman. Room here to run. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
12.
Now they'll run it on the toss. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is third and long. Ryan. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So Rivers will lead the Chargers out 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this.
Here we go. Good. 380. Hey, left. Let's go.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to let it fly. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Now a 20th carry, number 20 here for Melvin Gordon. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. An incompletion, now a short pickup. That's not going to do it.
Yeah, you've got to get to the line of scrimmage quickly, get set up, and aim downfield.
Delta!
They'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Back to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Steps away to his left. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Hey, let's go. You got 4. You got 4. 11.
They begin the drive with Coleman. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
54, Seth.
They will run again with Coleman. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
On 3rd down, that's Coleman. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. Well, Charles, the old So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From